So by now, premium bonds do not need any sort of introduction. You all know what it is. Currently, the prize fund rate is 4.4%, but unlike a bank or a savings account, that 4.4% is not distributed equally to the people that hold the bonds. Now, the odds of winning per £1 bond that you hold is 21,000 to 1, and there are two £1 million prizes to be won, which of course, if you're lucky enough, that could change your life. Now, in addition to the £1 million prizes, there are also 85 £100,000 prizes and a slew of other big prizes and even some small prizes of £25. So given all that information, what have I as an individual since November 2022 gained from premium bonds? In this video, I'm going to go month to month and show you exactly what I won and how much I had back then. So in November of 2022, I deposited my first initial principal amount into premium bonds, and that was £5,100. Now, the rules of premium bonds are that you have to hold the bonds for an entire month to be eligible for the next month's prize draw. So I put this £5,100 in the middle of November, so it doesn't really count towards November, it counts towards the month of December. So my first prize draw would be in January of 2023. So in December of 2022, I had £5,100 in my account, but my eligibility for premium bonds was still 0, so I had to wait the entirety of December. Now, top tip, if you do plan to buy premium bonds, do it at the end of the month so you don't have to wait extra time for your bonds to be eligible for the next month's prize draw. So obviously in December, I didn't win anything because I was not eligible. So in January of 2023, my first ever prize draw, I had an eligibility of £5,100. Back then, the prize fund rate was a lot lower than what it is now at 3%. And the odds of winning were 24,000 to 1 per £1 bond held, so the odds were actually more against you back then. In this month, I added a further £550 to my premium bonds account, but that won't be eligible until, about 2 months after that. So in my first month, I won, drumroll, £50, which I was actually really happy about. At that time, premium bonds weren't really paying that much, 3% prize fund rate, and I won £50, so I was actually really happy with that, and it kept me motivated to keep my money in premium bonds. I feel like on my first prize draw, if I didn't win anything, I might have changed my mind and put it into an instant access savings account. At that time, things were going up slowly and slowly. So I decided to keep my money in premium bonds, and I was happy with £50, a lot higher than the minimum £25 that you can win. Now, in February of 2023, I had an eligibility still of £5,100. The prize fund rate increased to 3.15%. The odds of winning stayed the same at 24,000 to 1 per £1 bond held. And in this month, I didn't add any extra to my premium bonds account. However, I won once again, earning myself £25 from the prize draw, which actually felt quite good, getting £25 at the end of the month instead of waiting a whole year and getting that on interest on easy access savings accounts that were available at that time. So in my head, I was a win-win. Even pretty much if I didn't win anything else for the rest of the year, getting that £25 and that £50 really did make up for it in my head. So at the end of February, in total, I received £75. In March of 2023, I had an eligibility of £5,650. My addition in January plus the winnings contributed to that increased eligibility. The prize fund rate again increased to 3.3%. At that time, we were seeing inflation running rampant. The Bank of England was constantly raising interest rates, and therefore we can see that even in premium bonds, the prize fund rate was also increasing. The odds of winning stayed the same at 24,000 to 1. I did not add a single penny extra in this month. However, I won a very, very nice £100, which I was extremely happy about. That's 3 months in a row that I won something with a relatively small amount, and I was determined to keep my money in premium bonds. So in total, I had received back then £175, which, like I said, in a bank, that would have probably been my entire amount for the whole year, as opposed to receiving it 3 months straight into my account, where it could buy more bonds, or I could just spend it on whatever I want, knowing that it is fully tax-free. That's the other thing about premium bonds. All winnings are completely tax-free, which means if you are an additional rate taxpayer with zero personal savings allowance, then whatever you make on premium bonds, you do not have to pay a single penny in tax. So in April of 2023, my premium bonds eligibility was £5,675. The price fund rate actually stayed the same at 3.3%, so did the odds of winning. Now in this month, very motivated by all the winnings I had received so far, I actually deposited a further £1,565 as I was very encouraged by my winnings, and I thought, you know what, let's just put them into premium bonds, maybe I'll win more. It was funny because in that month I won nothing, although that being said, even though I added that amount, it wouldn't have been eligible for that month's prize draw, so it really does not matter. In May of 2023, I had a premium bonds eligibility of £5,775. The prize fund rate stayed the same at 3.3%, so did the odds of winning at 24,000 to 1. I didn't add anything extra this month, however I did win £25, which I was happy about, although, you know, secretly I did want more. £25 is still a whole lot better than nothing. This brought my total to date to be £200, which is not too bad going at all now, is it? So in June of 2023, I had a premium bonds eligibility of £7,340. The prize fund rate stayed the same again at 3.3%, so did the odds of winning. Now in this month, I did not add a single penny, and I also did not win a single penny, just showing you quite often how sometimes you can win and sometimes you can get nothing. So in July of 2023, I had a premium bonds eligibility of £7,365. The prize fund rate increased to 3.7%, but the odds of winning stayed the same at 24,000 to 1 per £1 bond held. Now in this month, I did not add anything, and I also didn't win anything, just showing you again that, you know, you can win nothing for 2 months. Sometimes people win nothing for years and years. So really, premium bonds is all to do with luck. So in August of 2023, my premium bonds eligibility was £7,365. The prize fund rate increased to 4%, and the odds of winning became more favourable at 22,000 to 1 per £1 bond held. Now in this month, I actually added quite a bit, £4,835. And in this month, I also won quite a bit with £100 of winnings, which I was really chuffed to hear about. Now in total, that gives me £300 that I've made from premium bonds. Now in September of 2023, I had a premium bonds eligibility of £7,365. The prize fund rate jumped to 4.65%, and that would be one of the highest we have seen in a very, very long time, 4.65%. The odds of winning stayed the same at 21,000 to 1 per £1 bond held. Now in this month, I did not add anything further, and in this month, I won £0, which I was kind of gutted about, but it's quite normal at this point. So in October of 2023, my premium bonds eligibility was £12,200. The prize fund rate was the same at 4.65%, and so were the odds of winning. In this month, I added nothing. However, I won quite a nice £50, which I was really happy about, leading my total to be £350 gained from holding premium bonds. Now in November of 2023, my premium bonds eligibility was very high at £12,200. The prize fund rate stayed the same at 4.65%, so did the odds of winning. And in this month, I actually took out £500 because the way I use premium bonds is as an emergency fund. I don't see it as investments, I just see it somewhere to store my money and I can have relatively quick access to. That being said, it takes about 3 to 5 business days for that to withdraw into your bank accounts, so it does take quite a bit of time. I recommend if you're planning for an emergency fund to have it in an easy access savings account too. Something like Chip, Santander, banks such as, you know, Halifax and stuff, they all do instant access savings accounts. But in either case, in November of 2023, I won £25, which is not too bad in the grand scheme of things. So in total to date, I had won £375 from premium bonds. So December of 2023 was my highest eligibility that I have in this whole period at £12,250. The £500 that I took out last month hasn't affected the eligibility for this month as it was held completely over the last month. Now the prize fund rate stayed the same at 4.65%, odds of winning stayed the same too. In this month I did not add anything, and neither did I win anything. So in January of 2024, my premium bonds eligibility was £11,750. The prize fund rate was the same at 4.65%, and the odds of winning remained the same too. In this month, I did not add a single penny, and neither again did I win a single penny. Just showing you once again that many months in a row, you can actually win nothing. So in February of 2024, my premium bonds eligibility was £11,775. The prize fund rate was at 4.65%. This would be the last time it was at 4.65% before they started to reduce it, as inflation seemed a little bit more under control. The odds of winning stays the same at 21,000 to 1. I did not add anything further to this month. However, this was my highest winning month with 2 prizes, not just one £25 prize and one £100 prize, showing you guys that you can actually win more than one prize. It's not just limited to one, although I highly doubt they're going to give you 2 £1 million prizes. So that was a winning total of £125 in that month, which I was really happy about. And that brought my total winnings in premium bonds to be £500. In March of 2024, my premium bonds eligibility was £11,775. The prize fund rate dropped to 4.4%, which is not really a big deal overall. The odds of winning stays the same at 21,000 to 1 per £1 premium bond held. Now, I didn't add anything further this month. However, I was happy to know that I won £50 in prizes, leading my total so far to be £550 in winnings. In April of 2024, I had a premium bonds eligibility of £11,775. The prize fund rate stayed the same at 4.4%, so did the odds of winning. And I withdrew £2,000 so that my balance would stay £10,000, and I changed my withdrawal so that it goes directly into my bank instead of buying new bonds, so that I can work out how much someone, like me, can earn for just holding £10,000 in premium bonds. Bear in mind, the maximum you can hold per individual is £50,000, so this is just 1/5 of that. Now in April of 2024, I won £50 again, very happy to see that, and in total that brings it up to £600 won from premium bonds. So in May of 2024, I had a premium bonds eligibility of £11,775. The prize fund rate was 4.4% and the odds of winning stays the same. I didn't add anything extra this month, and neither did I win anything extra this month. So in June of 2024, finally I have just £10,000 to see what £10,000 would bring for a premium bonds user. The prize fund rate stays the same at 4.4% and the odds of winning stays the same at 21,000 to 1. I didn't add anything extra this month and I'm not really planning to. And in June of 2024, I also did not win a single penny. Now in July of 2024, my premium bonds eligibility was at £10,000. The prize fund rate was at 4.4%, and the odds of winning per £1 bond held was 21,000 to 1. Like I said, I'm not going to add anything extra to my premium bonds. However, I was very happy to win £100 in prizes, bringing my total so far to be £700 won in premium bonds, which is actually really nice because all of this is just tax-free. Now, are premium bonds really worth it? That is for you to decide. Each individual will have completely different, actual results. So it's worth actually thinking to yourself, do you want to put your money into premium bonds? You might not ever beat inflation. Or do you like the idea that there is a chance to win £1 million every month? And that could be quite persuasive to a lot of people. I personally am going to keep £10,000 in premium bonds so that I can make these videos, but also it's quite thrilling to me to check my premium bonds every month and see if I've won or not. Ultimately, it acts as my emergency fund, and if I really do need that, I am going to actually withdraw, and I'll continue to make these videos to show you what a realistic use case scenario is. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next video.